Our generation is just constantly looking for something to like bring them out of the present.
The first time I got a nicotine buzz, I honestly got it from the first Juul that I owned because I was with a friend who was older. She was 19 at the time, and I asked her to buy me a Juul, and she bought me a Juul. And I went home and I hid everything in my pockets as I went inside, and I went down to the bathroom and I locked myself in the bathroom and I put a mango Juul pod in the Juul and I hid it and I got a buzz. And yeah, the rest is history.
Instantaneous gratification, and something I think we all kind of want is that we're being seen, and just the fact that platforms like Instagram or Tinder or whatever, like you see that someone matched with you or someone saw the same thing that maybe you saw in yourself or maybe you want someone else to see. So then that kind of, I don't know, snowballs and you just kind of want more and more of it.
And I felt like I needed to smoke in order to fully like be there and to fully be myself even.
I think part of what makes TikTok an issue is that it is so fast. Like you're able to move so fast, and the amount that your attention span can hold on TikTok gets shortened the more you're on it.
I would be waking up pretty early for my classes, and every time I would hit my vape early in the morning, I would throw up, and I realized it was a reoccurring problem.
My name is Chelsea, and I'm a doctoral student in higher education student affairs here at Florida State. I got here in fall of 2018. The gray area for substance use in college students that I've really witnessed is social media, vaping, and alcohol. Honestly, even sex and relationships.
I can definitely say there's a guaranteed at least hour I spent on it, especially in the morning.
I think that using social media and nicotine are both kind of addictions in a way. I mean, like, for example, instead of waking up and hitting my vape the first thing in the morning, I wake up and check social media the first thing in the morning, so.
That could be like on Instagram or on YouTube, just an endless like death scroll of like just feeling like I was just stimulating my brain, and then after feeling like, where did my time go? Like, that was so pointless.
It requires the use of sort of different parts of our brain. We don't have to read things quite as much. It's much more engaging and comfortable for our brains to sort of sit back and watch a video. It really hits our brain at deeper centers than language processing if all we have to do is watch moving images on the screen. So my name is Jonathan Jackson. I teach in the marketing department at the College of Business, where I teach classes on social media marketing, consumer behavior, social media analytics, and others.
I don't know, I think it's the way I can just kind of shut off and just watch something and just kind of have something almost spoon-fed to me and just, okay, yeah, someone's dancing, that's fine. Someone's doing something funny, that's hilarious. And in a weird way, like even if there's something like emotionally triggering about TikTok, I'm just kind of shut off watching it. So I'm just like, wow, that's sad. Constantly chasing a high, if that makes sense, or chasing a euphoric rush of some kind. So
once upon a time, Facebook did not have a live feed. You logged into Facebook and you went to different pages, different users, and read what was going on in their lives. And Facebook was the company that established the news feed. You might call it an infinite scroll. There's always more content to be seen. You never quite scroll to the end of your feed. So that was one of the major developments in social media. And by combining that with short form video and things like Instagram Reels or on TikTok, they've made it much more engaging and more interesting, and they find that users spend more and more time on the platform.
As much as I know those unrealistic portrayals aren't real, they still kind of do hit a part of my brain that makes me not want to see it, or that starts comparing myself to them. So I mean, it's not shocking that it's affecting younger girls. And I feel like the younger you get on social media or any addictive pattern, it'll affect you more. So if you're seeing that throughout your entire upbringing, that's going to change your perception of yourself as well, because instead of comparing yourself to a real person, you're comparing yourself to something that can't even be achieved anyway.
There is some content in the Facebook papers about Facebook learning about how certain images on Instagram can be damaging to the self-esteem of young women and girls. Yeah, the papers showed that Facebook has some information, has done some studies, and understands that seeing unrealistic body images of other young women has had a negative impact on mental health and self-esteem for teenage girls and young women.
We created a fake account, my office and I did, as a teen interested in extreme dieting and eating disorders. Instagram latched onto that teenager's initial insecurities. It then pushed more content and recommendations, glorifying eating disorders.
Keep the people on platform for longer. That is what their business model and their ad-supported revenue comes down to. The more time we spend on the platform, the more advertising we see, the more successful the platform is. So if they can find ways to change up the platform to make it more engaging, more enjoyable for us, to get us to continue scrolling longer and longer, that means we spend more time on the platform. And video is one thing that has really helped them do that.
From Manhattan towers to towering pines, the lakes to the Rio Grande. When folks smoke for flavor, the one that they favor is the one with the Marlboro brand. The one with the Marlboro brand.
Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro country.
So the Marlboro Man, of course, was all about rugged, frontier American masculinity. What I see in this particular vaping brand ad is all about young, hip, urban, fashion-forward customers. And you can see very similar ad images in a lot of tobacco brands from the last 30 or 40 years. I see young people who are wearing up-to-date fashion, up-to-date hairstyles. I see lots of geometric shapes and imagery. I can see they're not sort of posing very stiffly, where you might see in a high fashion ad. These people are loose and they're really enjoying themselves. One of them is jumping up in the air, one has her hand on her hip. They are holding the product, but they're not necessarily focused on using the product. They're just sort of incorporating it into their fun nightlife lifestyle. I think they want you to focus on the people in the ad, the type of people, the lifestyle, the fashion, the hairstyles, the identity. They want the customer to see themselves as one of these young people who wears really cool clothes, who enjoys themselves. And the jewel can just be sort of something that fits into that lifestyle.
They taught us the total abstinence model, which doesn't work in a society that is built on tobacco, that has alcohol ingrained into sporting fandom, into the higher education system, into restaurants. We have happy hour with reduced price drinks. We have all you can, like ladies drink free. It's so ingrained into our system. DARE and STAR, those programs that you get when you're in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, didn't teach you responsibility. They didn't teach self-monitoring.
I would say at this moment, we have the tools in place to moderate our own use of social media if we feel that it's having a negative impact on us, right? Every major mobile operating system has tools that allow us to govern, put a time limit on how much we use an app in a given day.
I feel like I've been in recovery from social media addiction for the longest time, and I set a timer on my phone for screen time. You can either ignore it or ask it to remind you or follow it. But I think I started being more mindful about social media use a long time ago because I saw just how much time I was wasting on it.
I think I'm trying to cut the time I'm spent on it. I think I'm trying to make sure that I'm actually being more productive and engaging in healthier habits. So one thing that is contributing to this issue, and it was the dating app. It was, or not even a dating app, the hookup app. And I just kind of cut it off and deleted it, and got my grades back up, you know, things started looking better. And then
the reason that I quit nicotine was kind of just like a loss of that dopamine spike and realizing that I wasn't really getting anything out of it. But I feel like for a lot of people, it's just being stuck in the pattern of behavior and repetition that makes you reluctant to kind of quit it and makes you comfortable with it. I feel really good, I'm not gonna lie. Even if it's placebo, I mean, my mental health has been the best that it's been pretty much since I quit. I don't know if that's just a coincidence.
If anything, they are not trying to make their product less addictive. They are trying to keep people on the platform as much as possible because that's what drives ad revenue dollars. They're beginning to learn that they have a responsibility when it comes